Did I just say that on camera? Hello YouTube family, it's Emily here, and today I thought that I would share with you 10 things that you should know about traveling in Japan. A lot of you always ask questions saying that you're coming to Japan and you'd like to know more about it, so here is a video just for you guys. In this video I'll be giving practical advice about traveling in Japan. I will be making a video soon about the customs and cultural differences as well, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Tip number 1, internet and Wi-Fi here in Japan. If you are planning on traveling here for a long time and you don't want to rely on just the regular Wi-Fi that's available here and there around Japan, I highly recommend picking up a Wi-Fi router which you can pre-organize and pick up at the airport, and you can also just go on the day to the airport and pick them up as well, but you may have a chance that it will not be available. If you don't really want to do that and you don't want to hire a portable Wi-Fi device, you can rely off Wi-Fi around the different places in Japan, but it can be a bit more difficult if you're planning on traveling to a rural area. But if you're planning on staying in the cities, you can find Wi-Fi at obviously your hotel. Most hotels have Wi-Fi, but also the convenience stores, so 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson, they all have free Wi-Fi. Recently, Tokyo Metro has also opened up free Wi-Fi at their stations. You just have to register and apply for the free Wi-Fi and you can get it really quickly. With all of that information, you have a few options. So for me personally, if I was traveling to Japan as a tourist again, I think I could get away with not having a Wi-Fi router. But if you're someone that relies on the internet 24/7, I probably would recommend getting the Wi-Fi router. Tip number 2, trains and traveling in Japan. So the trains are super convenient and super reliable here in Japan, and I highly recommend using them as your main source of transport. They can be a little bit expensive, but because you are traveling from your country, you can actually apply for a thing called the Japan Rail Pass. And this is a pass that you can get which has like unlimited access for, I don't know, 7, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on which version that you get. And they are much cheaper, especially if you're going to be like traveling all over different parts of Japan. If you're not planning on doing that much travel within Japan, I highly recommend getting one of these. This is a Suica card. This is a really old school one. I've had this for 6 years, but I highly recommend getting a Suica card. They're 500 yen at the train stations, and you can just load your money onto there, and then you don't have to worry about buying a ticket every time that you get on the train. You can just swipe it and go through and then swipe off. And actually you can use these now on a lot of the express trains. So if an express train has like a surcharge, you can just like scan it when you get on the train as well, and that can pay for your seat. A lot of people also have the myth that it is very terrifying traveling around Tokyo and trying to navigate all the subway systems, and it is to a point, but if you can access the free Wi-Fi that is available, then you'll have no problem. So if you download a train app like Hyperdia before you come, you can quickly look up where you want to go and it will tell you where you need to change and how to get to different places. So I highly recommend downloading that app, and that will help you out a lot. If not, you can get English maps at these stations and obviously ask someone, but that's a little bit harder. The only thing that can be confusing is which direction the train goes and which direction goes to your station, but they do have signs in English, and it might take a bit of time, but you can figure it out. Tip number 3. So many foreigners come to Japan thinking that they can just use their ATM or their credit card and it's really that simple. But Japan is still solely a cash-based society. You might find that many places don't accept cards and they only accept cash. So I highly recommend carrying quite a bit of cash on you. And I know that sounds really weird, and when I first came to Japan I could not for the life of me justify carrying like $200 or $300 just in my wallet because I was scared that someone's going to steal it, but Japan is so safe so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, they're still a very cash-based society, so you'll have to pay in cash a lot of the time. And with that being said, it is very difficult to try and get money out here in Japan. So there are a few ATMs, I think there's a few international ones that you can get money out, but I know that you can definitely get them out at 7-Eleven ATMs. Up until a few years ago you could use your card to get money out at the post office, but that has ceased and now you can only really get it out at 7-Eleven ATMs. The ATMs offer an English service, so if you do find a 7-Eleven ATM or a international ATM, you can quite easily get money out. Tip number 4, tipping. So tipping is a no-no here in Japan. We don't do it in Australia, but I know that many other countries do. And so if you're from a country where tipping is normal, you can just forget about that because you don't need to tip. So I guess that's a good thing, I'm not sure. But I've heard from friends who have come to Japan and they are from like America where they do tip, that they've actually tried to tip and left the money on the table, and like the ladies have run out, no, wait, and like tried to hand back the money. Anyway, they got their money back because yeah, Japan is a non-tipping society. So yeah, don't tip. Tip number 5, bins. It is very hard to find bins in public spaces here in Japan. I recommend going to the convenience stores, they have bins there, but out on the street you will rarely see them. The only bins that you will see are for the vending machines, and that is for the PET bottles or the plastic bottles and cans, and yeah, that's it. You can't really find bins here in Japan, and I think that shocks a lot of people. Tip number 6, toilets. Oh my gosh, isn't this a biggie? So maybe you have heard of the Japanese style toilet, and no, I'm not talking about the fancy dancy high-tech woohoo water ones. I'm talking about the traditional Japanese toilet. So most of your hotels and most of the places that you stay will probably have a regular high-tech fancy toilet, but if you're going to be going to the toilet in a public area, for example stations, a lot of the older stations and even some of the newer ones still have the Japanese style toilet. Don't be shocked too much by the toilets. And if you are lucky enough to find the fancy dancy high-tech toilets, don't be afraid to use them. They're quite fun. Did I just say that on camera? Anyway, they can be fun, so yeah, explore. Tip number 7, smoking. So if you are a smoker, I am not, but if you are a smoker, you might want to be aware that you cannot smoke on the street here in Japan, so that means like walking and smoking is a no-go. Most places have a smoking area, a designated smoking area where you can go and smoke. Also in restaurants here, they still have a smoking section. That was one thing that I was really shocked about, because in Australia you're not allowed to smoke inside restaurants, and so when it came to Japan it was like kind of going back in time, and it was really shocking. But just know that there are smoking sections at restaurants and also designated smoking areas in public. Tip number 8, noise. So here in Japan people are very quiet, and you might notice that when you get onto a train there are so many people yet the carriage is dead quiet. More often than not, you will see tourists going on the train and talking really loudly, and Japanese people will just literally, they won't say anything, but they will just stare at you. And people think that, oh, they're staring at us because we're foreign, but they're probably just staring at you because you're really loud and they want you to be quiet. Even if there is 2 people talking, they're like whispering or talking very quietly. So just to be mindful of noise and just to kind of keep to yourself and don't, you know, go around yelling. Tip number 9, tattoos. Tattoos is quite a big issue here in Japan, and it only really affects you if you are planning on going to a Japanese onsen or a Japanese hot spring, because some Japanese hot springs still don't accept people with tattoos, although it is changing and more places are becoming tattoo friendly, but just be aware that you may be turned away if you do have tattoos. You're probably wondering why it's kind of bad to have a tattoo here in Japan, but Japanese people think that having a tattoo, you could be related to the Japanese mafia or the Yakuza. It's becoming more accepted that, you know, foreigners don't apply to this rule. More and more places are becoming tattoo friendly. Tip number 10, PDA, public displays of affection. So here in Japan, PDA is not very accepted. So you might see people holding hands or occasionally putting their arm around each other, but anything beyond that you won't really see. So that means like kissing, making out, being overly touchy-feely, you won't really see. I think it's because Japanese people are a bit more conservative and they care about their privacy, so they don't really want to display that kind of thing in public, and it's more of a private matter to them, so you don't really see it too often. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up, and if you would like to see more of these videos, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to follow me on my social media, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or contact me some way. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye! Am I so serious? 3, 2, 1. Hello YouTube family! don't remember our first date.
No, going to Shinsekai.
I remember you said, I really, really like you. But we know who likes to eat sperm.
Ah, you remember?
At least you remember something.